Good evening, my beautiful brothers and sisters in Yeshua. Today is Friday, the 10th of November 2023. It is 11:05 p.m. here in Australia. I hope you're doing well and I hope you've been blessed. Brothers and sisters, I just want to bring a video across to you today. I don't really know how I'm going to bring this across, but it is incredibly interesting. And those of you who have been joining me for the last two lives that I've done, it's been incredible and we've had some great conversation, and I've just continued to research a little bit further and a little bit deeper on all the things that we've been talking about. Now, I'm going to show you some things that basically I haven't really put it all together yet, but I wanted to put it on video here so that I've got sort of, I'm speaking it out, I'm reading it out, and I'm trying to work this out just as I'm studying and researching and sharing it with you guys. It's kind of interesting. And so anyway, I'll start with what Father's been laying on my heart. And you know that I've been looking into that. I think 1,000 years, well, I'm pretty sure I can say confidently that 1,000 years has been added onto the calendar. I think it's pretty obvious that there's been some kind of mass deception in the timeline. But what tonight's video is going to be about is basically, I started thinking about the mud flood and giants and the deception in time and everything like this, and I had this thought pop into my mind and I was like, what if the world really isn't 6,000 years old? What if it's 2,000 years old? What if there's been 2,000 years since Adam? And I know you're going to be like, what? You're crazy. But it's amazing because as I had this thought, right, like I've just started this document here, which I'll share with you. Okay, so I was like, what if Noah's flood was really also the mud flood and this earth isn't as old as 6,000 years? What if there's only been 2,000 years? What if Tartaria was Genesis 6 when the giant slipped? And oh my goodness, brothers and sisters, like I think I might have something on this, because when I'm looking into Tartaria, a lot of the things that we see is, is these things. Giant doors. Okay, I'll go back here. I typed in here Tartaria, the city of the giants. A lot of, this was amazing in itself. I'll just watch a little bit of this video. I'll just turn the sound off. But I mean, look at these steps, brothers and sisters, look at these steps. And then we've got these giant books, these giant guns here. I mean, why would there be a need to make books this big? Okay, and then, we get told that, like the pyramids and everything. I mean, look at the size of this door. This is a person here. This is people. Why make doors this big? You know what I'm saying? And then, there's this stuff in culture. I mean, what's the nursery rhyme? Not nursery rhyme, but the fairy tale we've got. Jack and the Beanstalk. Gallagher's Travel, is it? Is that the one where they're tying up the giant? And yeah, so like I said, this is just in the midst of me studying and research this, and I thought I'd just put a little video together to try and help myself a little bit too, because something's seriously wrong here, brothers and sisters. I think we've been lied to like really bad. And I'm starting to think that this Tartaria, the mud flood, Noah's flood, it's all linked. It's all like, it all seems to be, one and the same thing. I mean, look at this. You know how it says, they're going to be, there was giants in those days and then there were giants afterwards. it's funny, he says here, we hear about fewer and fewer people of this size. The GMO, the jabs, and the sugar is diminishing our DNA. So is this how they, you know, is this how they shrunk people so we didn't grow to that size anymore? I mean, remember in the story in the Bible, you know, when the 12 spies went out to spy the land of Canaan and basically said, oh, you know, we're like grasshoppers to them. I mean, look at this, brothers and sisters. This is in our immediate past. It's not like it's, you know, so-called the dinosaur age or anything like this. So, I mean, you know, when you think about it, when you have a look at all the cave inscriptions and things like that, of men running with spears at giant dinosaur-looking things, is this stuff really that old in our past? Are we really 6,000 years old? I know we're definitely not millions and billions of years old. That's absolutely true. But, you know, I mean, come on, look at this. This is just... So, I mean, the more I think about it, the more I am realising that I don't think that we're even actually 6,000 years old. I think maybe there's only been 2,000 years since Adam. Maybe it was 1,000 years from Adam to Christ, and then from Christ to us. You know? And who's to say that's not possible? Who's to say that's not possible? So when you look at this looks like it's all in our, you know, very immediate past. It's not like it's, you know, 5,000 or 4,000 years ago. So I just wanted to show you that. Now, what did I get here? You know how we're thinking, oh yeah, there's 1,000 years added. Okay, so we have a look at the time of Noah's flood, right? So and it says that Noah's flood was in the year 1656. So what if the same principle is added to what we think is, you know, Noah's time? What if it happened 656 years after the creation of the world? You know what I mean? Like, why, have you ever questioned why Adam and all that, they lived like to 900 years old? What if we've been lied to, brothers and sisters? What if we've been completely lied to? I mean, you know, we've seen proof now of added scriptures, removed scriptures. I mean, they've taken whole books out of the Bible. They don't have the newer versions. They say things completely different than the other different versions. You know what I mean? It's something's going on here, brothers and sisters. I'm determined to get to the bottom of it. So, and then there's this article here. There is somebody alive today who will live to be 1,000 years old. Why we are living longer than ever. And it's just an article about the first person to live to be 1,000 years old is alive today. I read that sentence 2 years ago, and it set me off on a voyage of discovery. Since then, I've been finding out what is known about longevity, the time that each of us is allotted to live our lives. So, okay, so we've got that. Now, this goes into, I was looking a little bit more into the mud floods and Tartaria and things like this. And this guy here starts talking about this this building here in Illinois, all right? And it's supposed to be the capital of the United States, Illinois territory. Okay, so he goes around this massive, like he's looking up at this building in Illinois, right? And I'm like, something triggered my memory that Obama, he, something to do with Illinois and Obama, I remember back from 2009, whatever. So I type in Illinois and Obama, and what do you know? He was the senator for Illinois from 1997 to 2004. What if it was from the year 997 to the year 1004? And then I remembered the painting that got done of him, and you see quite clearly he's got 6 fingers here. See, he's got his little finger. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and his thumb 6. And that is a signature mark of the descendants of the giants. So, I just thought I would share this with you, brothers and sisters, because something's going on. And like I said, I'm determined to get to the bottom of it, because if we can figure out how we've been deceived, and if we can just figure out the times and the laws that, the time that we're living in, I think this is going to help us tremendously. And like I said, I'm just making this video in particular for my own research and study, so that I've got something to go back on, because it's pretty late tonight. I should have been in bed. But this here is Giants of the Old World in Tartaria. I'll link it in the description box. But I just thought that was interesting, and like I said in my notes, check this out, actually, brothers and sisters, check this out. So, in Jeremiah chapter 4, verses 23 to 27, listen to this. I beheld the earth, and lo, it was without form and void, and the heavens, and they had no light. I beheld the mountains, and lo, they trembled, and all the hills moved lightly. I beheld, and lo, there was no man, and all the birds of the heaven fled. I beheld, and lo, the fruitful place was a wilderness, and all the cities thereof were broken down at the presence of the Lord. Hello. I beheld, and lo, the fruitful places was a wilderness, and all the cities thereof were broken down at the presence of the Lord, and by his fierce anger. For thus has the Lord said, the whole land shall be desolate, yet will I not make a full end. What is going on here, brothers and sisters? I beheld the earth, and lo, it was without form and void, and the heavens, and they had no light. This is talking about Genesis 1, right? But then it says, and all the cities thereof were broken down at the presence of the Lord. What is going on here, brothers and sisters? What is going on? Was there a whole world before the creation of this one? That's what it said. What if Noah's flood happened in the year 656 from creation instead of 1656? After the flood, Father shortened the lifespans. Did they really live 900 years old at the beginning? These are just questions I'm putting out there, brothers and sisters, and, there's going to be quite a few people out there who are like, who cares? This isn't a salvation issue. This isn't... Why are you worried about this stuff? Why are you going down this road? Well, to me, I care a lot, and I do think it's got a lot to do. I think it's important. I really think this is important, right? Knowing the truth, knowing the origins of everything. It's never going to bring me away from Father and the Son. Never, 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 ever, okay? But what I want to know is what is really the truth of this Earth's origins, of our origins, how old this Earth is, what date we're really at in time. I really want to know all this stuff, because I just feel it's extremely important. You may not, and that's cool, but I really do. Anyway, enough blabbering. I need to go to bed. But I just thought this was very interesting. And It just feels like the books are being opened at the moment. You know what I'm saying? It really feels like Father's opening the books and the veil is lifting, and all this stuff that's been hidden is now going to be revealed. So if the flood didn't happen that long ago, you know, if this is when the giants were around and these huge people that lived, you know, I mean, think about it, you know, Tartaria, when you look at the buildings of Tartaria, they are beautiful. They are majestic. They are, the architecture was out of this world, and a lot of the places were absolutely huge. What was the need for all that? Why? And then they just happened to, you know, be covered in mud or destroyed. This is why they had all the world's fairs. They had over 100 world's fairs everywhere in all different nations, right? Even here in Australia and New Zealand. And they showcase these, you know, these buildings and this technology and everything. And then guess what they did? It literally went for 6 months. Everywhere they went, they opened it in around April or whatever, and in November or so they closed it, and then they started destroying the buildings. Why? I want to know why. And actually I want to show you something before I go. Oh, there's just this too. It's called the phantom time conspiracy theory. Okay, and it's hypothesized a conspiracy by the Holy Roman Empire, no surprises there, Emperor Otto III, Pope Sylvester II, and possibly the Byzantine Emperor of Constantine the 7th, I think that is, to fabricate the Anno Domini dating system retroactively in order to place them at the special year of AD 1000 and to rewrite history. So check this out on Wikipedia. I mean, you know, when you start looking into this stuff, you think it's just a question that's popping up in your head, but it turns out there's like hundreds of people that are looking into this. It's not just something that I'm, you know, grasping at straws. Oh, look, here's the old Council of Nicaea. I knew it would have an appearance. But there's something else I want to show you too. Okay, check out this earthquake machine that they can create earthquakes with. And Nikola Tesla made this in the year 1896. Isn't that convenient? When we've been looking into that San Francisco tram line, where when it got to the end of the tram line, it said it was erected in the year 896, and then 3 days later from that footage, surprise, surprise, there was worldwide earthquakes of 7 to 8, and maybe this is what caused the flood, so to speak, and just destroyed all these buildings. And maybe that's what Jeremiah 4 is talking about. But check this out.
So you want to know more about Tesla and the earthquake? Oh, that's good. That's real good. Alright, listen to this. Nikola Tesla's earthquake machine. Oh my days. In 1896, Tesla was working on oscillators to be used for energy transfer. The idea was to create an oscillator able to create various frequencies. In 1897, the device was ready, and in 1898, he supposedly managed to oscillate his laboratory at 48 Houston Street, New York, enough that it alarmed the neighbors and they called the police. Tesla's electromechanical oscillator is a steam-powered electric generator. This is a blueprint of that same device, and this is the mechanical oscillator designed by Nikola Tesla, which is being held in the Nikola Tesla Museum in Belgrade. So let's think about it. If they had that type of technology then, imagine what they're capable of doing now. All of Nikola Tesla's ideas were stolen. That means somebody else is using them.
Exactly. So, that's the first thing I thought of was that Turkey earthquake. I mean, they've been doing this probably for a long time. All the real big, when you think about one of the signs that Christ said, there's going to be earthquake in diverse places. Diverse probably means strange, like earthquakes where there shouldn't be. I don't know, brothers and sisters. I just thought that was extremely interesting. And before I go, I'll just check if there's anything else I want to show you. Oh yeah, here's a clip too. The Nile River turns blood red. Now, before I show you this, because there's going to be people there that say, oh, this is the algae bloom that happens. That changes the Nile River blood red, right? And I've heard this before. I've heard that, the water can turn blood red when there's some kind of, I forget what it is, brass or copper or something like this. The scientists always have these explanations for why things happen, and that's just a heap of bullcrap, I reckon. I think that we're seeing a lot further into the book of Revelation than we actually realise. So we'll just watch this one. I think he may swear, so beware.
The Nile River today, November 9th, 2023.
What he said. Look at this, y'all.
Get right with Jesus Christ now.
Get right with Jesus. Let's get it.
Yes, get right with Jesus, that's for sure. Okay, so the Nile River is...
What he said.
Okay, this is November 9th, 2023. Look at the whole Nile River. You cannot tell me that's an algae bloom. People, oh, this happens all the time. Like, come on now, people, come on. So, this would have happened, in the story of the Exodus when Moses went up to Pharaoh and, Moses turned the river blood, and then Pharaoh's boys basically went, hey, we can do that too. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Anyway, let's see what else I got. Okay, here's a cool one. Quite a few people have been sending me stuff about Barron Trump, like Trump's son, and very, very interesting. And there's been a few people send me stuff about that Trump and Diana, Princess Diana, that's actually who is Barron's mum. So in other words, Trump and Diana made a baby, and that's Barron. And it's really quite weird because I did hear many years ago that might have been the case, but it was just sort of something that came and went. But if you check this TikTok out, I'll read it to you. Okay, it says, be prepared to get shocked. My aunt, Princess Diana, is actually married to Trump, and Barron is their son. And if you scrutinize them, they look alike. Melania is playing a role, and she's actually married to... I can't see this. Oh, she's actually married to Putin. Oh, okay. Or so I was told. You're just watching a movie, folks. Okay, so that's that. I just thought I'd share that with you. Jeez, we've been lied to. It's just so funny. It is just so funny. Okay, this is an awesome article too, because when I was looking into the mud flood and Noah's flood, the same thing, I came across this article called The Two Great Floods of the Bible. And there's like all this scripture evidence to show us, like, I don't know how we don't see this stuff before, brothers and sisters. It truly has been sealed. It's like the word of God has a veil over it, and only at the appointed time will it be removed and we're like able to see this stuff. But basically, I will link this PDF in the description box as well. But it says here, conditions of the earth just prior to Adam and Eve. This period of time involves the other steps of judgment involving water and darkness, and finally the absence of light. These scriptures will bring us right up to Genesis 1, verse 2, not back to. There is a time gap between Jeremiah 4:23 and Jeremiah 4:24 in which most of this section fits. This is what I just read to you before. As I beheld the earth, and lo, it was without form and void, and the heavens, and they had no light. And I beheld the mountains, and lo, they trembled, and all the hills moved lightly. Beginning with Isaiah 24:17-21, fear and the pit and the snare are upon thee, O inhabitants of the earth. God had begun to dispense judgment for human rebellion. Verse 18 describes them fleeing. And it came to pass that he who fleeth from the noise of the fear shall fall into the pit, and he that cometh up out of the midst of the pit shall be taken in the snare. For the windows from on high are open, and the foundations of the earth do shake. The windows on high, first flood mentioned, in this verse clearly belong in the time period between Genesis 1:1 and Genesis 1:2. Verses 19 and 20 of Isaiah describe how complete the destruction was at the end of a pre-Adamic civilization. The earth, this is verse 19, the earth is utterly broken down, the earth is clean dissolved, the earth is moved exceedingly. The earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard, and shall be removed like a cottage, and the transgression thereof shall be heavy upon it, and it shall fall and not rise again. And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall punish the hosts of the high ones that are on high, and the kings of the earth upon the earth. Verse 21 identifies the sinners as the hosts of the high ones, or the angels, and the kings of the earth, who represented the pre-Adamic civilization on the earth, whose judgment is assured. So Isaiah 24:1-3, behold, the Lord maketh the earth empty, and maketh it waste, and turneth it upside down, and scattereth abroad inhabitants thereof. And it shall be, as with the people, so with the priests, as with the servant, so with his master, as with the maid, so with her mistress, as with the buyer, so with the seller, as with the lender, so with the borrower, as with the taker of usury, so with the giver of usury to him. The land shall be utterly emptied and utterly spoiled, for the Lord has spoken this word. So incredible. So the first flood, devastation with water, great shaking and darkness. So this is why it says, that the earth was replenished. You can't replenish something unless it's been plenished before. That's the whole purpose of the word re. So, wow, brothers and sisters, we know nothing. We so know nothing. This is incredible. And is it in the Book of Jubilees? I can't remember which book it is in, but it talks about that. Or who was it? Yeah, Noah. Yeah, I think it was Noah. Yeah, and he was freaking out. He was freaking out, and he went to Enoch, his grandfather. I think it was. Is that right? And basically Enoch was like, what's wrong? And he said, and Noah said, I want to know why the earth is on a tilt. So, brothers and sisters, this is awesome. Anyway, like I said, I just made this video, hopefully it makes sense. I'm pretty tired, but I just made this video to try and, put some things in my mind onto a video and share with you guys, in case you want to have a look at this further. And this is exciting. This is good fun searching all this out. So I will leave you with that, brothers and sisters. I'm going to head to bed now, and yeah, I probably won't see too much of you over the weekend, you know, spending some time with the kiddos. And maybe I might see you in the skies. Who knows? Who knows what's going to come of 11/11/2023. I truly think there's going to be something significant happen. But, you know, we've been here many times before when we think, yep, this is absolute, you know, this without fail, something's going to go down. But, you know, the thing is why it's different now. And like I've said, the difference we have now with all the dates that we used to have in the past that have come and gone, the difference we have now is the armies have surrounded Jerusalem, you know, and Bible prophecy, the end parts of the Bible prophecy are literally playing out. You know, we cannot go too much further than this. So we're in for a wild ride, I tell you, between now and the end of the year, that's for sure. Anyway, brothers and sisters, I love you. I'll leave you with that. I hope this has blessed you, and I love you very much. And if I don't see you in the next video, I will see you in the skies. Bye-bye.